Hello, you Miss Mother of all species. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, Ranger. I saw Art. Oh my goodness. Today is today. Hi, Zexu. Hi, Zon. I mean, I was posting about it in Discord. How is day today, Madame Malice? Not bad. Could be better. I was posting on Discord that like my anxiety was high today, but I'm like, for no discernible reason, but that is just generalized anxiety disorder for you. But it's not bad. It's not like I'm having a panic attack or anything. It's just, I feel really bleh, and I wish I did feel bleh. But it's like, not much you can do except wait for it to pass. Why is everyone tired today? I don't know. Iduna also had some very high anxiety today. I mean, the joke is usually blame it on some astrological event. Like, you know what they say, like, it's like, oh, people are being weird today. It must be a full moon, that kind of thing. So, I don't know, maybe Mars is in retrograde. Who knows? That's astrology, not astronomy, but, you know. Today was off. Yeah, the vibes did not vibe correctly. Yeah, for me, I know this is the time of year where I start having problems sleeping, and that affects your mental health, so to some extent, I'm like, oh, yeah, here we go. You made missed takes? I know you meant mistakes. Taking debit payment as credit? Oops. Hi, Pia. Hello. If you're always like, if you're always anxious, then yes, you have general anxiety disorder. My hand has been sacrificed. Pep demands attention. I'm just boot up League and Hokai Star Rail have fun. There you go. Hi, Amadis. How are ya? But yeah, no, I understand the fear of doing anything work-related when you're having high anxiety. I'm getting trained on, because, you know, I'm an apprentice, right? So over time, you gradually start doing more and more complex stuff, right? They've got me training on invoicing stuff now, like actually reviewing the applications and like approving them and asking for like documentation and the portfolios and like all that stuff, as opposed to before where I was like just like sorting stuff and like preparing like the orders once all of that's done. Now I'm like, Heather was like my trainer. I'm like, do you have time this afternoon to go over some applications with me? Because I think they're good to go. None of them were good to go, but it's not my doing. It was like, you know, it's like, oh yes, this person like, it was an online system. It's like, oh yeah, this person technically started their application, and then they didn't finish it, which is why all this stuff is missing, but they quote-unquote submitted it a month ago, so you should probably just contact them and go, hey, yo. And it's like, this one, they're just missing this document, but someone already contacted them based on the notes, so, you know, go digging through the 2,000 emails and see if you can find it, stuff like that. Yeah, I was like, and then, like, the one I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure this one's good to go, and then it took an extra, like, 20 minutes of my trainer's time because I forgot to check to make sure, because the way, like, our application system works is if they sometimes started, like, they have, like, if that person's account has another draft and they didn't close it, they're like, oh, wait. It's basically, you know, you can't have two of the same things in the system at the same time. But the system wouldn't let me cancel the extra one. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, there is already a duplicate application. And then, like, it just goes in a circle. It's the Otoboto spying its tail. The other application prevents you from deleting the other application. They're like, okay, you're gonna have to file a ticket with IT to get them to force delete it. I'm like, I wanted to actually get one of these done. It's like, I asked to get trained on this to help y'all out, and I'm not actually getting anything done for you guys. I'm sorry. Oh, Assassination Classroom? Gosh. I haven't watched that in a while. It was very popular, though. I would say it's an okay series. I only watched season 1. I do know a lot of people really loved it, though. So I say, give it a watch yourself and see if it sticks with you. It was pretty good. Actually, yeah. I only ended up watching one season, but I know a lot of people were, like, really sad when the series finished and stuff like that. So a lot of people really did enjoy it. I just never consumed it in its entirety, so I can only give an opinion as someone who only watched, like, 6 episodes. Really like that one? Yeah, I remember seeing bits and pieces of it. And some of it was like, oh my god, these children. Because, all the kids are technically problem children, but they've all got different circumstances, and so their teacher is an alien, but in a weird roundabout way, he helps them through their problems. So it's one of those. It's like, this is really silly, but also, wow, I got hit with trauma. What do you mean so-and-so's mother, like, treated him like a toy, basically, like a dress-up doll kind of thing, like all of that? Ah, yes, Koro-sensei. Short for, what was it, Koroshi-sensei? So, killing sensei? But yeah, it was pretty decent from what I heard. I just, for one reason or another, didn't get into it. But people really did enjoy it, so I like it, but I don't like it. Because of the sad stuff, understandable. Highly recommend Assassination Classroom? Well, there you go. Your fellow science being heartily recommends it. We also do gotta keep in mind that Ranger doesn't watch much anime, so yeah, we gotta keep in mind when recommending stuff. Ranger isn't used to the weird anime-isms that, we are. So, as always, take anime recommendations with a grain of salt. There's some stuff the people like us who have been watching anime for like 10 years don't even blink at. And then a quote-unquote normal, like normie, watches it and they're like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh yeah, I never considered how that would look to an outsider. There's Irina, and that's literally it. What's Irina's deal? Uh-oh. We're still dragging him into it. Because it doesn't have much weird stuff? Well, that's good at least. Oh. Okay. Hit Woman, Booba. It's very slight fan service. So yeah, fan service might be a little weird. Fan service is always kind of weird to outsiders, but she looks like she's a slightly more minor character, like she pops in and out. So, probably not too bad. Soon he'll be recommending us anime to watch. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely fan service in anime that's even less. That's like 0 fan service, but I always just put the caveat, like by the way, just be aware, XYZ may occur. Because I've been watching anime at this point since I was, like, literally 20 years. So yeah, at this point, I'm like, I don't even know what people would consider, like, weird and off-putting anymore. I'm just like, yeah, that about checks out. That's anime for ya. Especially since I watched a lot of older series. Like, there's still stuff in newer ones that are like, that's not okay, but anime overall has moved a little bit more away from that stuff. I mean, 90s anime, like, I swear to God, every anime had, like, someone who would, like, flip up, like, girls' skirts to show their underwear and stuff like that, or, like, you know, like, walking in on people in the bath, walking in people while they're using the toilet, like, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I'm just desensitized at this point. High School D&D is pretty fan servicey, I think, if I remember right. But yeah, I mean, Trigun's not bad. Trigun would be interesting from the science perspective because of you guys were talking about alternative life forms and stuff like that, but what, pretty fan service heavy? Yes. I don't even think you need to watch High School D&D to know it's fan service. You just need to be on the internet and see the GIFs. Second anime that explains so much about y'all. You know what my first animes were? Sailor Moon, Pokemon, Digimon, Shaman King, Tokyo Mew Mew. Escaflowne. Meanwhile, you guys got frickin' Sexual Assault 101. Okay, look, I do love High School of the Dead as well. But oh my god, I need to tell you this frickin' story. It's too bad we never find out about what caused the zombie outbreak in that series, because one of the authors died and like that just killed the series. But yeah, so when I was in college, I had a friend ask me if I would recommend High School of the Dead. And I was like, yeah, I really liked it. And he's like, cool. And then we're sitting in like the third, fourth row. And bro starts watching High School of the Dead in the middle of lecture. And I'm like, no, you don't watch this one in public. Especially not in the middle of the classroom. I didn't think he was gonna start watching it right then. It's like, sir, at least frickin' wait until we're in like the cafeteria or something like that. You watch this in class, you're gonna get in so much trouble. Like, you should not be watching any anime in class, but High School of the Dead especially, like, even just the opening would get you in trouble. This is the whole scene with, like, Sayako and, like, her clothes are transparent from the rain and, like, she's leaning against, like, a fence or something like that. And I'm like, even that would probably get you, like, suspended. Noragami was one of your first crazy art. Good taste, though. But yeah, I was just like, oh my god. Because, like, I literally, like, I shouldn't have done this, but, like, my first instinct was to shut his laptop lid. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't watch this one in class. He's like, why? You said it was good. It's good, but it's not safe for work. I didn't know you didn't know that. We're so funny. Cause how do I word this? Like, you know, sometimes you get friends who are inexperienced in relationships and all that stuff, but, like, they watch a lot of, like, risque anime and stuff like that. And, like, it's become part of their personality. But then when actually confronted with that stuff in reality, they just turn into, like, children and they're like, ah! For the sake of keeping this PG, I won't say what, but, like, someone was like, I heard XYZ, and I'm like, there's no way that's true. I'm like, it's true. And, like, I just saw, like, 6 dudes around this table just go, like, what? Like, I just broke their mind. I'm like, yeah, surprise! Welcome to anatomy. This is what happens when you're older than everyone. Sayako was pretty good, yes. Iduna really loves Sayako. And I mean, she's voiced by Miyuki Sawashiro, so, like, that's just instant win right there. Alright. Before before we get too distracted with the yap. Let's get this going. Do 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 do. Ah, right. We were just about to start a cross-examination. That's fine. We should be getting pretty close to the end of this. I think we're finally in, like, the last third of this case. God. Why do they make the last case of these games so long? Make, like, the other cases slightly longer to balance it out. It feels weird when it's like, all right, every other case it took 2 streams, and this one's like going on 4 streams. It's like, why? Why did he do this to us? All right, border crossing weapons. Gasp, Wolfman. Yes. Oh God, what's his name again? Lon, I think. Lon? Yeah, well, that's his first name anyway. I believe? No, surname. Everyone goes by surnames in this game, except for, like, the female characters. Yeah, there we go. Lon. Lion, dragon, and... No, it was like... I looked up the kanji. It was warrior, dragon, and wolf. Yeah, dragon, warrior, wolf, or something. Yeah. I remember because, Fate Stay Night fan moment, the she is the she that's in Shiro, the main character in Fate Stay Night, which is how I remembered it. Murder weapon and the killing of Damas II is Babal's Prima Duck statue. Somehow, those 2 objects were able to penetrate the 2 countries' impenetrable security. Penetrate the impenetrable, do the impossible, row, fight the power! Good old Gurren Lagann. The only one who traversed the 2 countries just before and after the crimes was you. So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisca will remain a suspect. It's crazy that Gurren Lagann isn't that big of a show anymore. Yeah, it's like... It makes me feel so ancient, but it's like 20-something years old now. Yeah. Even Kill la Kill is, like, 10 years old now, and I'm like... Ah! It's like, what? Ah! Trigger! You need to come out with a new series. We're all dying out here. Because, yeah, Gurren Lagann, I would say, is kind of like the middle history of mecha development. Like, Gurren Lagann took a lot from Go Getter Robo and Mazinger Z and stuff like that, and now stuff is taking after Gurren Lagann and, like, Ava and stuff. So it's like, if you only watch Ava, you're only getting, like, half of, like, the references that are popping up in anime nowadays, kind of. Super Robot shows, it is absolutely a reference, yeah. Love letter, yes. And going even further back, oh God. Because Gainax made most of the mecha anime that influenced, like, basically everything, like, to this day. Why am I blanking on the name? Oh, Gunbuster. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gunbuster is the other one. That was like, y'all missing out if you don't watch that one. You'll start this as a boy and you'll end it as a man. You know, that is indeed fair enough. You go through like a whole spectrum of emotions with that show. And I mean, I think I guess spoilers, because now there are actually people who don't know the twist. It was shocking for a lot of people to be like, what do you mean this character dies at this point in the story? Like, it's very unexpected. It'd be like, you know, to use a more modern example, it would be like if Mikasa died at the end of season 1 of like Attack on Titan or something like that. And the rest of the series, everyone's trying to figure out how to make do without like their like a very critical part of the force. It was very much a people die when they're killed moment. Also, I think one of the first anime I experienced that had a time skip. Eaton Lon, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself. They killed Mikasa at the beginning of the live action movie? Oh, I did not know that. I was just trying to pick a relatable example. Well then. I mean, I guess killing off Eren would be the better example, and then, you know, Armin has to become the main character? Would be the more of the equivalent of what happened in Gurren Lagann. But Armin sort of does become the main character at parts of the story, so. Well, that's awkward. Don't tell me Lunzi never said anything to that effect. Oh god, what was the stupid quote in Gurren Lagann? Drill that pierces the heavens. It's been long enough since I've watched Gurren Lagann, I'm starting to forget some of the quotes. I don't need his proverbs, says Edgeworth, because my words are all you need to see the truth. Well, that's kind of rude. You're dismissing his culture. It's a good one-liner, though, I suppose. Border crossing weapons. All right. I'm trying to figure out which statement to present on, because the contradiction is like, it wasn't just the knife that got smuggled over, the statue was too. So it's like, it would be hard for Francisca to move both of these things. So it's like, how do I wanna? martial art of Lord Genome as a child, and it's the saddest case of twink death in the history of anime. No way! Hold on. The way you phrase that got me interested. The fact Lord Genome Mion is one of the things. Oh my god. He's small! And then he turned into that. Going bald and growing facial hair ruins everything. Alright. Let's just try. Let's just try something.
Objection!
Tisku, tisku, tisku. Eaten long. Those two items are not the only two to cross the border tonight. Oh? Damas II was killed with Babal's Prima Duck statue, yes. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alabas' Prima Duck statue go? To Babal. Precisely. And if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled. How's that for a contradiction? 2 became 3. Ah, gotcha. Case solved. I guess so. But you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items. Only that the sis is the one who could have done it. The sis? Because the only person who went back and forth between Alabas and Babal is her. No, we did too, technically. Actually, there was definitely another person, one who paid a visit to both sides of the wall.
Objection!
Is that really so, Agent Long? What a lousy time to try and bluff your way out of this. I checked out what the guard said along with the security camera footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily.
Objection!
But suppose there was one way other than through the theater doors? What other way? The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed. If I pointed out, it would open up a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility. Do the impossible, see the invisible. Related to Gurren Lagann, I feel like the reason Promare took off the way it did is it actually captures the spirit of Gurren Lagann. Like, it's very similar vibes. And you've got Hiroyuki, Hiyama Nobuyuki, who was in Gurren Lagann, and he's also in Promare, so I'm like, oh yeah, this is straight up, like, the vibes be here. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route. Alright, and, like, yeah, we've got a Yoko, and, like, you know, we've got our Kamina. We're missing a Simon, technically, but a... So, we know it was Master Mask, so... Oh, there we go. Photos of Garasu. Agent Long, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo. That supernatural photo, like I said before. Humans can't fly. Oh, not with that attitude. We have run into many cases where technically people flew. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well. And don't start claiming that Sheena somehow grew wings either. Why is that your first thought? Literally everyone would be like, we should check to see if there's like wires or something like that. I wouldn't dream of claiming that. And I won't allow you to take back what you've said either. I'll say it again, it's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor. But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? It's such a Meyer train of thought, literally. Don't think she, flew? No, I don't. And I mean, Lon is like an agent of Interpol. You're supposed to be the international police force, like the cream of the crop. Why are you like... There's no way this is real. People don't fly. Wait, not humanly possible? Eureka! Why did they make that his catchphrase? It's so lame! Very well, you will have your explanation. Sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Something like that. Let's hear it. The face hidden within this photo's blurry shadow trail is... I mean, we know it's Sheena. We know that for a fact. It's just we can't prove it yet. So, not this one. Right, it was an I. Now I'm putting it together. Was it a person who flew over? Was an item? Let's try this. Oh, come on. There we go. There you are. This may come in handy. Yeah, he's a superpowered alien. He's very hard to kill for many, many reasons. Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the Prima Duck statue replica. You can't be serious. Yatagarasu, or rather, Callisto Yu, dressed as Agent Sheena, was inside Babal. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air. Might actually watch it. Enjoy, good luck. I hope if you do commit to it, you end up enjoying it. You did also say you wanted to watch Pop Team Epic. I don't know if you ever actually got around to it. You left out a very crucial bit in your explanation. I did? I know I did. Oh. Edward knows Edward knew it. She launched it through the air. Huh. And how exactly did she do that? He is literally bearing his fangs at me. Well, this is awkward. But he has a point. I haven't actually gone to that yet, but you'll watch it too. Yay! I love Pop Team Epic. Each episode, I think it's like technically each episode's 15 minutes, but then there's a B-side where it's the same skits, but they just change the voice actors. Yes, Pep, I know. Can you wait for ad break? No? No? Okay. Pep is being very insistent. I think she hungry, so it's a little before ad break would kick in. But I'm gonna be right back then and give her food and stuff, and then we shall continue. So hold tight, folks. Alright, the gremlin has been fed. Meow. I gave her pets as well. Whoops, wrong screen. Hold on. Welcome back, thank you. Was gonna try and wait until ad break, but she was very, very loudly insisting, so I'm like, you know what? Fine. Sometimes the child gets what they want. The gremlin she offended? I mean it in the most loving of ways. I remember that just before Ambassador Alba was to give his speech. Jambola, hello. He called you into his office, right? Maybe. Laptop color is broken and we're in black and white? Oops. 1800s, Dee Dee? Doesn't even need to be 1800s, just like 1950s, Dee Dee. I don't think Technicolor was a thing until the 60s. So just before the murder, Francisco was called here, right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Oh, I came back just in time for ad break to start. We'll snooze it for 5 minutes. Because I literally just got back. True, it was like 1929, you think? Ah! Earlier than I thought, but yeah. Or maybe it was that you weren't able to broadcast in color until like the 60s or something like that, but movies could be in color because of film. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. And you will need to hear testimony from Miss Von Karma. Oh, what are you up to now, pretty boy? He literally calls a pretty boy. The BL writes itself. Earlier, you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer. 1950, the first color TV came out. 1960, it was popular. Ah, okay. So much happened within, a century, man. Just thinking because Papa Melis was born at, the end of the 40s. So he's seen so much happen. Yeah, I guess I did say something like that. In that case, I believe it's my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth? How dare you! My papa was a criminal, but I am not. As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. I think you're supposed to say there's absolutely no way I'm the killer, not that there's no way you could prove that I'm the killer, because that implies you did actually do it. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too. I don't. You just know she's about to snap that whip in two. Damn. There's no way I'd get caught. Not like Papa. Papa was very good and didn't get caught for 20 years. But I will be better. which is why I would like to hear it from you. Francisca. I feel like we still don't have enough information. Which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case. Alright, fine. I guess I'll give my own testimony to, like, try and get myself out of a murder charge. Doesn't mean I have to like it, though. I'd like you to please testify to your movements up until you came into this room. Alright. Let's try this your way for a change. But if what she says has to... Oh, sorry. But what if she... But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, sometimes these sentences are a little too meaty. I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl. No! Okay. Huh. As you wish, I guess. Movements in Alabast. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy. After I saw the steel samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the rose garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alba to his office. Francisca, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in the office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct? Yes, of course. I see. Alright, for now the only way that I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Francisca about her testimony in more detail. Okay. Okay, after all the preparations were in place, I was called back to his office. Whoops. Present.
Hold it!
Or press, rather. At that time, the Master Max's body had yet to be found in this room, correct? That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence. A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying? Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you. Seriously? Like I keep telling you. When I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, watering his plants. I can attest to that. Why did you not attest earlier? I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office. Alright, then add that statement to your testimony and let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he? Apparently. Alright. New statement? Whoops. Go back.
Hold it!
For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill? What do you mean by that? The entrance to this room is on this side, however, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered this room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Is that not correct? Isn't that not correct? Isn't that correct, Edgeworth? Double negatives? Why are you like this? I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me. With a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe he was watering his plants, right? I suppose. It was all a cover. He wasn't actually watering his plants. After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself and is growing them with the utmost care, you know? Yes, the plants in this room, they're all like my children. Oh my god, I love that emoji, that icon. Hard gun, that's so good. I need to start keeping a list of emotes I like, so in the future, when I commission more emotes, we can have some really fun ones that I liked. The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All 4 of them are in full bloom. Miss Von Karma, what did you say just now? I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement? Did you not understand? Are you deaf? Are you dumb? What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is. The way they phrase that. Oh yeah, we're missing 2 of the flowers. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony. Very well, if you say so. It's a little weird, but okay. There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom. Then why are there only 2 now?
Objection!
Francisca. For some reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence. It does appear that way. Ha! I knew it. I knew we couldn't trust your word, sis! Mr. Edgeworth, hold on. She's not cooked yet. Calm down. Deep breaths, everyone. What are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this? Yes, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. Ow! All I've done is state what I saw. I have not made a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles? Yes. At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Huh, then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine the flower box. How did this contradiction come about? Bro did the illegal crime of picking his flowers. There must be something behind this discrepancy. They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care. So I ask you that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth. I understand. Yeah, literally there's two huge things in the dirt. Like holes in the dirt. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Despite being called flowers, they were actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supports. Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there's only two here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you. Miles! Hold on. Hurry up and shut this man up for me already. Shutting him up. Show evidence. I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require. Yes, I do. You have such confidence in the face of your current plight. Is it a plight? But I highly doubt it'll last until the end. Big words, sir. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. God, the dog puns. Reminds me of frickin' the English translation for Hakuoki, the dating sim. Because the other name for the Shinsengumi were the wolves of Mibu. So there's like so many like, you know, bark and bite worked in. Truth of the passion flowers. There we go.
Take that!
Sheena, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. That look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are, in actuality, support sticks for the passion flowers. And so what? Is that really all that important to the case? Yes. Of course it is. It means we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight. Yeah, indeed. Think about it logically, Agent Long. These sticks were originally in alabaster. But somehow they wound up in Sheena's possession. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and statue. Rest in pieces. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal. Oh, fine. Be like that. How did these support sticks find their way into Babal, and why? There must be some reason. Oh, so that's it. Jinlan, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape. Huh, it's just another stick, isn't it? And so it is, but the shape of the support stick is what's important. But when they are used together with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. Ah, yes. Behold the crossbow. Boink. That's a crossbow. Wait, you're not really suggesting. Yes. I am. These hair sticks are rather plain support sticks. They make for perfect arrows. They don't have tails, though. They wouldn't fly straight like that. I found the common thread that connects the two offices, literally. It's a wire. This thread is yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread to all of these things.
Not so fast!
Excuse me. My goodness. Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all, bless you. Thank you. So Babal's statue was draped in the Yatagarasu's clothes and then shot over here? Even if you fire the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with the statue tied to them. Well, not with that attitude. I don't think I need to tell you that the Prima Duck statue didn't sprout wings. Humans don't sprout wings. The statue doesn't sprout wings. Sir cannot be bothered. You're a realist after all, aren't you? You know, you believe in science. The Prima Duck statue didn't sprout wings? Of course they didn't. Glad you understand. I feel much better already. You're not crazy. I was afraid for a second there you were unaware of this crucial fact. I am aware that generally things don't fly. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wits are necessary to this equation. Use your brain, sir. Use your brain. I'm sorry? You need to free your mind a bit more. and let it fly like a bird on the wind. This prima duck statue flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. I wouldn't go far, you say. How so? But we are in agreement that the arrow itself would reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, prosecutor? Because the thing they want to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing. I mean, tactically. No, that's not necessarily true. I beg your pardon? What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What on earth are you talking about? What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves. Oh, I get where he's going now. I thought we already established they were shooting the wires, not the statues, but maybe I'm just not reading. But rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statue. Suddenly I'm having flashbacks to Danganronpa. What did the crossbow launch? Liars.
Objection!
Finally. Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you are trying to say. Really? You're saying the arrow was tied... You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot it to Mr. Cochin's office. All the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. Yep. Down to the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how a vast prima duck statue could be moved. How nice of you to finally get on our level. But then, what about Babal's prima duck statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal. Going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. How do you explain that? Probably see how the gears behind this whole trick worked. Well, I'm glad you do. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? The motion of the ocean? Any motion? Bungee action. Yeah, I don't think it was bungee jumping. can't be swinging. I mean, technically it could be swinging. They could have swung it over the wall and then the person pulled it out, but someone would have noticed that. So by process of elimination, it was rotary. I believe it was done via rotary motion. If these two statues were transported simultaneously...
Not so fast!
Simultaneously? Get real! The statues would collide somewhere along the way, not if there were two ropes! Bro, so silly.
Objection!
Did I ever say there was only one line of wire between the two offices? If you shot an arrow with the two ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed. Ooh, fancy.
Not so fast!
Lonzi says, don't object to call a success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension difference between the two wires, the top one would say too much to the point where the statues would collide anyway.
Objection!
Agent Long, as you know, the Prima Duck statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure. Excuse me. God, I feel allergies. It is that time of year. I hate it. And the fact that Babal's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue. It would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible. Lon Z says, do you have any thoughts that aren't your ancestors? Oh! I thought he was gonna say, holy shit! Miss Yu and her mystery co-conspirators set themselves up in two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down on one arrow. Then the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport them. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal, where it was disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock. QED. He's not having a good day. This proves it, right, Agent Long? That I'm not the killer? Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. The proof is in the pudding, as it were? Question mark? Pudding is a nice dessert, so do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir. Well, that's not nice. What I have laid out is no mere hypothesis. But there is one more piece of evidence. Huh, one more. This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Something like that. Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor. Okie dokie. The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of the length of wires. Circular belt. The fan?
Take that!
You dropped another bomb on us again. Last piece to the trick are two pulleys. Precisely, the ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. That is crazy. The statues can't be that heavy then. One installed in each of the two offices, the ceiling fans made for perfect pulleys for the wires to run on. Aru! Bow bow! This is how the smugglers bypass the security. You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. Thank you. I bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? Maybe? Why don't you tell me your answer and we can compare? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you? No commando. The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both of Alabastian and Bobbly's offices, and the passion flower support stakes that could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case could only be someone who worked in the embassy, so... Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food. Sit, boy. Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? Because I think he's gonna be accusing the ambassador. Single point of this the finger here, and the case will explode into international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. We just gotta roll with it, I guess. It appears I have no choice but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mystery mastermind is. The flowers. This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, for the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I am accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with utmost care. It can only be you, Quirkus Alba! Accusing an ambassador is quite the leap, sir. your mind, Miles Edgeworth? I'm certain of what I am saying, and I'm sure that he is the culprit. Huh. And there he goes. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor. What was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all this stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like this? It's, complicated. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd. Just one thing, huh? Yeah, just one thing. Just one little thing. The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answers to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. It's gotta be the statues, right? Everything was about the statues.
Take that!
I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Prima Duck statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Prima Ducks himself? I see, Ambassador. We'll be examining that statue now, with or without your permission. Meow. So there was the bottom. Oh, the head. This guy kind of looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador? I suppose that's possible. Take a look at the area around the base of his neck. It looks like a gap. Huh. Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret? Secret treasure, secret tunnel, secret tunnel, secret tunnel, secret tunnel. Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction. Oh. Through virtual space? Something like that. What? Hurry up and open it, Miles. All right, here it goes. Breaking a national treasure. Oh. Well, this is awkward. Wow, it really did open up. Hey, what's this thing that fell out? I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. Well, this is awkward. Those look like bills. What is this? Is this what I think it is? It's a plate for making counterfeit bills. Somehow it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates. And the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabasta to begin with. Well, this is a little awkward. The prima duck statue can only be handled by the ambassador or secretariat. And the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. Wow, they really thought of it all. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plates from Sheena, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damas II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damas II and... boink. Then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba? You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess, and it's all because of you? You're the one who killed Damas II? Answer us! I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin. Is that a fact? Quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. If there is one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Quercus Alba. It's not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lone. Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you? I mean, he does have a point. Huh. Oh, there he goes again. It looks like you still don't get why I came back. I get it, but, tell us anyway. Excuse me? You see, the reason I came back is so that I could stick my face into your wrinkly old neck. You have weird taste, sir. I have no words. From the very beginning, my real target has been you. Press F to doubt? What? Agent Lon, I demand an explanation, and also what the fuck? Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. Press F to doubt. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning. Yeah, he's been calling her sis. I don't know why. I don't know if this is supposed to be like, you know, an Anewe thing? Like Anarchy? Like, you know how mafia people refer to their superiors? Thought there was another foreign comrade. Not as far as we know, no. Knew you were innocent from the very beginning. Thanks. You did? I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look. Does he call Edgeworth bro? He does not. He calls him prosecutor, and one time he called him pretty boy. Using Francisca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights. Makes sense, he's very pretty, he is. I knew these two were a semi-popular BL pairing before playing this game, and then playing this game, I'm like, alright, I see where this is coming from. Plus the ascot. So that's what all this was about. Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find out the truth. Agent Lan, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you. Yeah, this isn't something I would ship either, but like sometimes it's like, you know what? Yeah, I can see how this would go. You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic. He believed in him all this time. God. Just gotta raise the stakes a bit more. Yep. Sometimes the less we question and just enjoy, the better. So true. Sometimes you just gotta go with it. That's just as it should be. Prosecutor detective team, right? Gumshoe's not gonna be happy about this. He's been replaced. Again. I don't know about all of that. But one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see the old man get what's coming to him. Old man's gonna get what's coming to him. Just gonna get what's coming to him. Ho ho, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you? Something like that. You were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guild onto Sis. What? He's really sticking to that nickname, so alright. We'll take your word for it. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me. This music, though, yeah, the pursuit music is always very satisfying in this game. Makes it all feel worth it. 'Cause what are there's like the pursuit music, and then there's the cornered music, they call it, when, like, you know, you've really got them backed up against the wall. It's good times. Agent Lane, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. But why? Cornered is one of your favorites? Understandable. Very good. What we need now is evidence and proof, not whatever you're doing. It's funny because he was like, wow, I did not expect you guys to figure this out. But, like, can you prove it? I'm like, well, technically, you just confessed. You just confessed to knowing about all this, so that's enough to take you, in most cases, that would be enough to at least detain you.
Objection!
Don't be such a sore loser. Then some fun interrogation, surely. Surely! If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, surely. Leave me and my speech impediments alone. I mean, sometimes I do purposefully mess up the word for the giggles, but... Edgewortua Haitsumaki. Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength, sorely. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. Evidence! I tell you, I knew nothing. Just enough to know that it was Mr. Cochin that was the head of the smuggling ring. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue. Who's the judge in this? Himself? Technically no judge in this one because this is Ace Attorney Investigations. So they never actually end up in the courtroom. So it's a little strange in that way. The judge did show up in one case because there was a murder in the courthouse, but there was never a trial that he's presided over in this game. Weird, yeah. I'm not sure why they decided that it's like, oh yeah, a game where you play as Edgeworth? We're gonna have y'all basically be detectives and only investigate stuff. Maybe they thought being a prosecutor and, like, you know, trying to find people guilty would it sell well? I don't know, but...
Objection!
Really, the people just wanted more Edgeworth because he's such a popular character. Really like the idea of this game? It is good. And I do really enjoy it. It's just, yeah, it's a little weird to have, you know, a game where you're a lawyer or a prosecutor and you don't actually do your job. Like, sure. Like, defense attorneys will go and interview people. And I'm pretty sure prosecutors will as well as part of preparing their case. But it's like, not to this extent. Not actually visiting crime scenes and finding stuff. Most of the investigative work of, like, attorneys stops at, interviewing people as part of, like, preparing for the defense or the prosecution. Just not in court. Very true. It's very much a child's idea of what being a prosecutor is like. I guess so, yeah. And I mean, I can understand it because if really we were actually playing like a simulator game where we are lawyers, a lot of it would be sitting in an office reading like legal codex and making phone calls and answering emails and stuff like that. Not like, you know, riveting gameplay, so to speak. I'm sure there's like an audience for that, but and it's more convenient for a narrative, absolutely. I'm sure there will be one eventually. Now you got me curious because my Steam is already open. Lawyer Guy, Defender of Justice. I am your lawyer. Judy platformer. That is not what I was expecting. How dare you? You're a lawyer who tries to save students from a crazy headmaster. You need to survive a variety of school lessons. Another platformer. Interesting. Not like... Wasn't really expecting there to be a lawyer game where you're lawyering, but I thought it would be fun. Like, hey, you gotta, the goal is to make partner, and so you go around sabotaging other people's, like, cases and stuff like that. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything. I mean, Paper Please is fun. Paper Please is great. Oh, what's the guy's name? He's always getting caught for crimes, but in the end, he saves your family. Georgie! That guy! Shows up with, like, a hand-drawn passport. But in the end, he's the one who knows, like, a legitimate dude who makes, counterfeit passports. It's like, oh, okay, I come back again with a better document. Makes sense, he had to find him for sure. God, I should play Papers, Please at some point. I love watching people play Papers, Please, but I've never played it myself. Papers, Please is one of those games I never get tired of watching people play, especially for the first time, and they encounter some of, like, the oddball stuff, like with Georgie. Can you prove it doesn't make sense? Oh, Commento. He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us. The proof that Interpol has been after, which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find the proof now, then we can see to it that justice is finally served. Have you seen That's Not My Neighbor? Seems to be a spiritual successor, but something's missing. I've seen some people play it, like, I've noticed streamers I follow playing it, but I haven't actually watched or played it myself. Oh, yeah, I mean, it does look like Papers, Please, but yeah, there's... Doesn't look like it's the same development people either. Yeah, it might be fun, but I've noticed sometimes with those types of games, the art style can really make or break it. And I mean, the art in That's Not My Neighbor, looking at the screenshot, it's not like it's bad or anything like that. But Papers, Please really nails that gritty, like, you know, USSR in the 80s, 90s, like, pixel, like, aesthetic. It really suits it. Like, the art suits the game and the game suits the art. That's Not My Neighbor. Like, the art is fine, but I'm like, it doesn't do anything for the game and vice versa, you know? Because, yeah, like, the art needs to be, like, a cohesive part of the game for it to, like, truly work. That's why, like, you know, pixel games are still being made, even though it's, you know, 2025. It's not so much that it's easier to make, but it has a very certain charm to it. And I mean, imagine a platformer using, like, you know, realistic modern day graphics. It just would not feel right, you know? Like, imagine Super Mario, but with, like, you know, Call of Duty, like, graphics. It would just be weird. Suddenly, I reminded you of this one really weird conversation. Ooh, I love weird conversations. I can't tell if you're supposed to become paranoid or isolated or laugh at the funny doppelganger with 8 eyeballs. Oh, about 2D versus 3D games. God, that reminds me because my coworker today, I guess, like, she had made a complaint to building management because, like, it smelled, like, the office smelled, like, her office smelled smoky. And people were just saying, like, oh, it's, like, stale air and stuff like that. And finally, I came over because, like, I came over there twice because today I smelled something and I, like, legitimately thought something was on fire. And I'm like, no. Like, they're like gaslight, gatekeep, girl bossing you. Something is burning. That's usually heaters after a long while, isn't it? Maybe? But it was I've never smelt a heater that I've never smelt that kind of heater smell. Like it could be the heater, but it smells like, you know, dust is burning. Like something is being burnt by the heat. And either way, it's not a good thing. Like it's truly smoky. Yeah, and I mean, I'm on like it's not like a big area, but like I'm technically on the other side of the room from this office. And if I went over twice in one day because I could smell smoke, that's not good. Especially if it lasted more than an hour or so. Yeah, it seems to come and go, but it happened twice today, and I was like... And I needed to tell them because the boss was like, I don't really smell it. And I'm like, no, I've smelled it. Something's burning. Like, it's like, I got you, girl. You're not crazy. That with better advances in games and stuff, that person points is 2D should just evolve and advance to 3D? Nah. Nah. Because I mean, God. Like, for example, Genshin and even Wuthering Waves and Infinity Nikki has moments where you do like side scroller and or platforming. Platforming sucks in 3D. It's only fun and charming when it's in 2D. In 3D, you need extreme precision because it's so easy to miss the platforms. That's not the case in 2D because it's like you either jump right or you don't. There's no being slightly to the left or right. Has it made played video games? Yeah. I mean, it's the same with movies. It's the same with artwork. There are different, and music, there are different genres that have different rules / conventions that work for them. You cannot expect to take every, like, you know, rap song and just put it to, like, just take the lyrics and slap it on, like, the Taylor Swift backing tracks and be like, yeah, it's the same product. It's music. Some stuff works best as 2D, some stuff works best as 3D. Like Call of Duty, to go the opposite direction, sure, you could do it in 2D, like, you know, the old Metal Gear games. But arguably, it's not as fun. Because try and do a headshot in 2D. I'm specifically talking about it more so in pixel / flat versus 3D rendered, yeah. Though a lot of old pixel game, like if you go far enough back in history, pixel just outright meant side scroller anyway. Ever tried the Final Fantasy 15 Beetlesis dungeon? Oh god. I remember when they made Final Fantasy 15 as like chibi, try and make it work on less powerful systems. That was weird. Ghost Like Sue, it sounds like they prefer 3D and want some justification? Probably. And I mean, some people are think because they prefer something a certain way It should always be that way. I mean, to go even like in a further example, like visual novels have evolved quite a bit over time because nowadays, like the Two Heart remake coming out, they use models for everything, right? And then you go a little further back, it's all art and sprite work. And if you go even further back, it's still art and sprite work, but they were literally making pixel art for the games because there wasn't a way to like scan in drawings or do like, digital art back in like, the 80s. And I mean, yeah, so it's like even something that's like just a genre where you just click your mouse button to advance the text, the art has evolved a lot over time, and the old pixel-based visual novels have a very different feel than the newer ones that have like 3D models or stuff, so. Audiobook's the way to go now. The only downside to audiobooks is like if you don't like the person doing the narration, it's like yes. Pixel Pokemon, they do have a lot of personality. Have you guys seen the artwork for like the Pokemon like blue and like green, like the old ones? You can't even recognize that Charmeleon is Charmeleon from behind. It looks like a totally different creature. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use these. Oh yeah, the OGs are bad, but they're charming. I say this as someone whose very first Pokemon game was Pokemon Blue. So I say Charmeleon looks like a totally different creature with like all the love in my heart because it's like it's just what it was. Was a little better once it got into color sprites, but yeah, in the black and white I was like, what am I looking at? Is this the head? Like kind of in a hindsight, when I was a little bit older, as an 8-year-old, I was just like, yeah, whatever. Not processing it at all. Gyarados was pretty sick though. I think so. God. I was talking about this with my friend Toko about how I miss how Pokemon like villains aren't actually villains anymore. Because I'm like, back in my day, we saved Lavender Town. We saved Celadon City. We saved Silphco. And then, like, we went to Johto and we saved, like, the radio tower and, the Slowpoke and, like, the Lake of Rage Gyarados. What do the kids have now in these Pokemon games? They stopped the school bullies? They stopped this one sports, like, producer dude from doing a bad thing? And I mean, like, yeah, things have changed, evolved, or whatever, but I'm like, I want the kids to experience what it felt like to be a hero in the Pokemon world. Like, truly. Because when I was a little 8-year-old, going to save Silphco was like the coolest shit I had ever known. And like the radio tower as well. And then like in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they updated it so you literally got like a costume to go undercover, and then your rival blows it because he recognizes you. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? They stopped vigilantes from driving cars in the countryside, and yes, the slowpoke tail cutting was indeed brutal. And like there's an early hint that this is happening because, you know, like when you leave Violet City and you're on your way to Azalea Town, there's like a Team Rocket dude that's like, hey, you want to buy a slowpoke tail for like $1 million? It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's a pastry, right? Like, kind of like, you know, beaver tails. Like, you know, beaver tails aren't actually, you know, beaver tails. They're like pancakes. No, it's just it's straight up a tail. Only way to bring something like this to justice is to do so outside the courts. I don't know about that. Edgeworth, you've already gone through this character arc. Let's not do this again. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma. I follow my boyfriend. I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. I follow my boyfriend, who, totally does not get disbarred for accidentally submitting forged evidence and not realizing it. Yes, hello, I know. I gave you food, but now you're like, Mother. It is almost time to wrap up. We are needing attention. My boyfriend who solves crimes with his magical amulet. Yes. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? The law? The thing you swore an oath to uphold? Your cat is sleeping behind you? Aww. And that emoji is exactly my cat. Because Pep has learned that she'll get my attention if she reaches out with her paw and gently taps my arm. So when I say, like, she's asking for food, I literally mean she's on, like, her hind legs and she's, like, tapping me on the arm, like, Mom. Mom. Cats are just toddlers who have the ability to climb. That's adorable, right? She's very sweet. And her sister Mogu, she literally does scream at me. When I say she's screaming at me, she'll literally like just stare up at me. It's like, ah! And then I look at her, it's like, what? I've had a whole conversation with Mogu before, and like her meows change in pitch and tone. So I'm like, you're saying something. I don't speak that particular brand of like type of cattish, but you are definitely saying something. My cat also meows like he's never been fed in his whole life. Oh gosh, yeah. The best is, sometimes I can feed my cats together without problems. Other times I have to start, like, you know, feeding, like, one on the kitchen table and one on the ground. And even though they watched me, like, put the food on, like, the table, I'm like, guys, And they're both just sitting on the floor staring at me. I'm like, well, one of you needs to come up here. And I'm like tapping the table. I'm like, come on. And they're just staring at me. I'm like, if you were a dog, you would have already jumped up here. But like, that's why we all love cats, is they don't obey our every command. I'm like, come on, guys. I can see in your eyes. You're smart. There's something behind. Like, the gears are turning. You're just not doing it. And that's why I'm like, they're literally toddlers. Because it feels like me trying to get my cats to do something feels like when my brother and sister-in-law were fighting my, like, nephews when they were little and trying to get them to behave, like, do something. It's like, doesn't matter that, like, you know, the human babies understand words technically. If they don't want to do it, they aren't gonna do it. Eerily similar? Yeah, like the same stubbornness. Because it's like same thing with toddlers. Even if they're like trying to act like they don't understand what you're saying, you can tell. You can tell they get it. They're exercising their free will. And like, you know, that's like why apparently toddlers started going through that terrible 2 phase where they say no to everything. Because they've learned they have free will and they can refuse stuff. So they're just refusing everything. Because they can. They have dog bowls designed because dogs will eat too fast and injure themselves. Cats will do that too. I have slow eaters for my cats as well. I need to get some more. Because it's like, yeah, they were throwing up quite frequently, and I'm like, all right, you guys already have health problems. Is this the health problems, or is this because you guys are eating too fast? And so it's like, now I have to feed them like 4 times a day to make sure they don't eat too fast, because literally it's like they're swallowing like the dry food whole. And I'm like, that would be why you're throwing it up. How about you chew? You guys have your full set of teeth. Come on. Right? I'm like, you guys are 11 years old and you have your full set of teeth in good health? Like, the dentist literally was like, I thought you brushed their teeth, like they're in such good shape. But my cats are like, nah, we just swallow everything whole. That's why our teeth are in good shape. The food doesn't touch the teeth. Alright, trump card. Do we use a trump card? Sure, why not? There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. Yeah, we just need to rewrite the Constitution. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. Easy peasy, easy peasy. For what reasons were laws invented? To preserve the status quo? To intimidate the common man into obeying and being orderly so the society can function and not dissolve into anarchy and chaos? Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this. Oh! I wonder what that card is. I've never seen it before in my life. I totally just did it, Grimace. It's a directives card used by the leader of the reign to relay instructions to his subordinates for the power of friends. Friendship will set you free. Oh? Is that what it is? This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KT8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin. He's Manny. Oh. So why do you have such a card in your possession? Because it was hand-delivered to me by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense, and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that that card contains directions from the ringleader? I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given. What? This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KT8 incident. The KT8 incident? I'm not from this country. I don't know what you're talking about. The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate. Ho ho ho, very interesting. I must admit, I am very curious now. Very curious indeed, these case-deciding pieces of evidence you've presented. The prey the Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man, who has had free reign for 10 years, to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me. Dun dun dun. God, it's 1:30 in the morning in the game. So what is this interesting thing you wanted to show me? The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's words will be realized. Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir. Replay the tape. Imagine just walking into an apartment building, holding the letter telling you to kill someone and a knife. From this footage, we know that the card is a director's card from the smuggling ring. Like that? I mean, is there blackmail or just those two? It's just those two, apparently. I see. Because this dude was part of a smuggling ring, so he was told to get rid of someone who knew too much, basically. The killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have, just because they look the same doesn't mean that they are, does it now? Ah, but there is a very easy way for me to prove that they are, in fact, one and the same. All we have to do is take a look at this. He was a member too? Yeah, this is Manny Cochin, who later on became a secretariat to the ambassador. Because being in a smuggling ring gives you power, I guess. The stark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in this terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KG8 incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can easily verify that as fact. If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage. This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building. It's an official Cadopian government car. Awkward! Who goes to pick up a murderer in, like, the frickin' company car with, like, logos and shit on it? Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. How? a freaking VCR, like a random ass VCR. Apparently we can magnify the footage.
Take that!
Zoom enhance! This section will make it all too clear to us. Oh, never mind. No! Whoops. The reflection is probably not relevant yet. Damn it! This?
Take that!
The shape of this pocket and the directives card in it. It tells us that, without a doubt, this person in the car is Mr. Kochin. The shape of the pocket? Where I guess they're doing analysis on the jacket. The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera. Damn, they were not careful at all. And with it, we can easily find out who was seen in this car on that day 10 years ago. Now analyze the fingerprints on that handkerchief, right? Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. Huh. Uh-oh. He's losing it. Whoa! You've done well, boy, to make it this far. Oh, suddenly he's fixed his back. He's no longer a feeble old man. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time, that's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? Oh, it's the exact metal he's wearing. That's why he stood up straight. So we can see it. The Principality of Cadopia no longer exists. So naturally, all records from that time period also no longer exist. But no, that's not how it works. Just because a country stops existing doesn't mean all the paperwork and all the artwork and all that stuff just vanish with it. It has to be purposefully destroyed. And in this case, the country of Cadopia, for those who don't know, split into the country of Alabast and Babal. So I'm like, one of these countries kept records. Come on. Hence how the country was lost. Literally, it was just they decided to split the country 10 years ago, and now they're deciding to reunify it. 10 years is not long at all. Literally, because Mama Melis used to work for, used to be a public servant. They keep copies of some stuff for like 10 to 15 years as a matter of course. So I'm sure all of this stuff still exists, especially, you know, it was only 10 years ago. People's birth certificates still need to be valid. Like, did you reissue the entire population new birth certificates? Like, he's already erased all traces of them. Yeah, exactly. And now he's playing with the metal, just in case you really didn't notice it before. They're making it super obvious. Some people in yeah, that's exactly it. And even if you, like, you know, you immigrate and you leave the country of your birth, they still have records of your birth there, technically. Like, in most cases, like, if you need, like, adoption papers to prove your identity for immigration, usually you can go back to your country of birth and go to the hospital where you were born and get that stuff, like. Yeah, it's like, long gone are the days where it was really easy to basically fake your identity because they did keep really meticulous records and didn't, like, have good records retention policies. Those days are long gone now. And this game takes place in, like, 2030, basically. So, arguably, it's, like, a country that split in, like, the 2010s. Yeah, they would still have all kinds of digital records and stuff. But for the sake of the plot, we have to suspend our disbelief.
Take that!
What the? Ambassador Alba? That medal you keep flashing at me. You were once an army man in the service of Cadopia. And it was you who made the many missions you participated in successes, correct? Why the sudden backhanded praises, boy? Ah, yes, the dictator. Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Cadopia. But now I am the only one who owns this particular medal. Oh, thank you for pointing out you're the only person in the world who has this one. Because, window reflection. In that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you. Wow, sounds like something identifiable then. Literally sounds like the smoking gun. By the medal captured here in this footage. It is clearly the exact same medal as the one on your chest. Oh shit, his face broke. What the hell? How old is he? Oh my god. That was kind of disturbing. Ha 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 ha. You would move me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? Because he's a general. It's almost looking possible, isn't it? For the lot of you to have come this far. It looks like I just might lose our little game this time. You might lose this time? Yeah, you don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador. Apparently we're boxing now. Is that a fact? Very well. I've decided to confess and admit my guilt. You're going to confess? Stolen valor exists? I guess that's true. And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result, so he's probably gonna confess to the lesser crime. As a way to get out of, making billions of counterfeit bills. Regarding the Damascus second murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense? Damascus second attacked me and I felt that my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead instead of him. Oh, the world would have surely suffered for that. I'm not giving you one? Well, everyone's be ha-ha-haing. Well, you two really know how to laugh at inappropriate times. Now's not the time, Kay. If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence. It's always evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you require, I'll provide it. I mean, that's what the law requires. The man left a mark on me when he attacked. I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in self-defense. I'm an old man, and I sometimes don't pay enough attention when I should. Did have a single weapon on his body? Hold on. It's nothing to get worked up over because I hit the weapon. You hit it? I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder, even if it was in self-defense. And I couldn't let it become public, seeing how I am an ambassador. Your bonsai trimming shears. He tried to kill you with scissors? This reminds me of when some comedian in a stand-up routine was making fun of the fact that toenail clippers are banned on airplanes. And it's like, what are you gonna do? Pinch them? He was trembling quite badly during our struggle. But that's when he grabbed the shears that were sitting in my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense. Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, I mean, something made him bleed. Since he has both a wound and the weapon that caused it, is enough to declare it so. No way! Oh, which reminds me, I guess there is still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of this is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge it was going on. Stop spewing nonsense. Oh boy. The secretary we haven't even known exists up until this point. Trying to throw our investigation under the bus if you want to get real on it. Everything in this case can be connected to you. The murder of Damas II was done in self-defense? In my trials, no man escapes his crimes alive. Whoa! Perhaps so if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten. And what is that? He's an ambassador and thus he's not held to our laws or something like that. Ah! That's what you mean. Extraterritoriality and extracalifragilisticexpialidocious extraterritoriality. It's quite a word. It's very atrocious. That's right. This embassy sits on what is effectively Alabastian soil. So any trial that is to be held will be held in Alabasta. Embassies are weird little things. Like, hi, this is... On a map, this is another country. But per diplomacy, this, like, you know... 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer square, it belongs to another country. Agent Lon, what's Interpol's stance on this? Agents investigate. That's our job. The judgment of people who have confessed to their crime. That's the court's job. It's like, God damn it! I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Long. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritoriality rights. These rights are effective even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial in one of your courts. Alright, so if you're a career criminal, become an ambassador. That arrogance and your expression. That's nothing like the face of someone who is ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. Of course he does. These crimes you all speak so seriously of. To me, this has been nothing more than a game. Oh, great. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusations, but it's no big deal. Alabast has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game. These 2 layers of protection that extraterritoriality provides him. This is why he is one of those who cannot be brought to court. You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and fetch your eviction papers. That's true. Technically, we are standing in another country, so we can tell us to GTFO. Is there nothing we can do? Well, to be continued. Looks like this case is still going. We'll have to come back another week. I'm not sure how long the rest of this case is, but good grief, it just keeps going on. At least now we know that it's the ambassador. We just have to prove it. Whew! Good grief. Sometimes the cases in these games go on forever when it's the end. Every other case in the game, quite short, decent length. These? Heck no. You will be here for 600 years. Alright, Tamada, is it Yumiya? Yes. No, it's Fields of Mystria, my bad. So we're doing some farming sims tomorrow. Bring your yaps with you. Because we're just playing a farming sim, so there will be lots of yapping going on. It's been a while since we've played a game where I can get just super yappy. I mean, I was still pretty yappy today, but hey. But hey! So I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST for Fields of Mystria. Now let me see who I can send you guys to. You're able to go even further beyond. Further beyond, yes indeed. Trying to... It's like... Well, it's almost 10 p.m. So some people are probably going to start streaming soon. So... I won't worry too much right this second. We'll refresh it in a moment. I was like, wait a second, it's 9:59. People tend to start streams on the hour. More of my mutuals might go live. Truly the struggle life. Any 2-ish minute thoughts? I mean, there are lots of thoughts in here, but sometimes trying to pull them out on command is the challenge. Oh, right. I was looking at games earlier, trying to see if there's anything good that's coming. Any interest in Oblivion? Oh my gosh. I've seen people play Oblivion. I've never played it myself. Those types of games I don't usually touch, but but it might be fun one of these days to try it. Oh my god, I'm looking at my game library and I'm like, I have all of this stuff we haven't touched yet! But I mean, such is life. You get games when they're on sale and then it's just, you know, explosions happen. The backlog is a constant. It is, but we've gotten through quite a lot of them. Oh, I'm in the finished one. That would do it. My unfinished one is still quite large. But yeah, the backlog is never ending. At some point, we'll get back to the Final Fantasy games. Where May is gonna have like a slight pause in stuff coming out. Oh god, Raincoat is 60% off. Why are the sales always so good when I just paid rent and I have like $40 in the bank for the next week? Ow! Some of the productivity app stuff is getting so creative these days. Dun, 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 dun. Gosh, I'll have to think about stuff coming up. It's starting to get humid now. It is that time of year. R.I.P. I hate summer, I hate humidity, so you know, it's like, why is this happening? Nah, doesn't look like anyone else is gonna go live, so no worries. I will send you guys to Joey. He's playing Fast Food Simulator. Bugs too, don't forget the bugs. Bugs are too bad in the cities here, but yeah. Fortunately, I haven't gotten bit by mosquitoes in quite a while. But who knows? You never know. They might decide this is the year that they're going to eat us alive. So here we go. Here is Raid. Here is Discord if you've got any lurkers who want to come along. It sucks at night trying to use your phone in the dark. Oh my god, I have not experienced that, but that sounds awful. Just attract all the bugs, rip. Oh man. Alrighty, we will keep on yapping tomorrow as we're playing Fields of Mystery. Speaking of, like, bugs and stuff like that. It'll be nice to play a farming game again. I love all of our long plot games, but it's nice to have games you can just go back to whenever you feel like it, and it's like, oh yeah, we haven't played this in a while, but that doesn't matter. Enjoy the stream, take care, thank you, you guys as well. Alrighty, that is gonna be it for me. So, if it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. And if it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head on off to bed. Until next time, take care of yourself. Wash your face, brush your teeth, eat the good food. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.